Hello everyone, welcome back. So places to claim inside. Why that, and what are these places? On our journey to freedom, well, at least those that actually consciously choose that and putting ourselves together, assembling ourselves together, there are places inside ourselves, real places inside ourselves, that need to be claimed. One of them is the domain of the unconscious. And what does it mean? This is the biggest part. Because how, well, energetically things have been the conditions, plus the distortion, a large portion of our awareness is locked out. And a lot of these distorted thoughts and patterns, and even things that it looks like we're doing like to ourselves, like consciously, although not really consciously, because I explained last time what it actually, in regards to how the distortion hurts someone, and when it delivers something, and both ends are distorted. So in the unconscious space, a lot of the distortion, and well, the distortion itself, the virus of this reality takes place, and it's like a big maze. And it's like almost impossible to control what can be delivered in there or through that space if one does not start to clean. Another space that it's just as important is the space of dreams. This actually, it is the communication space with a higher frequency band, with source, everything that is beyond, in energy and frequency, beyond this reality. And it's a way to actually bypass the distortion that's here, that actually obstructs truth, obstructs light, obstructs how things really are. But even there, in that space, the distortion can infiltrate and can deliver things that you might not expect, because it's connected with the unconscious, but also with another space, which is the third one, is the space of expectations. And what do I mean by the space of expectations? Generally, it's like everyone has these like expectations, obviously, about how their lives are going to unfold. Things that, I mean, to look ahead, it's like, oh, things are going to be like this or that. You expect certain outcomes for yourself, for your life. And actually the space of expectation is connected to intentions, to the space of intention. This too can be infiltrated because the distortion, like I said, has access to the main part, which in the most vulnerable, which is basically the unconscious space, which is a large portion of one's awareness. When that is not claimed, then it's a lot of mess inside. In the space of expectation, like I said, intention plays a big role, because we all set intentions for ourselves, like a plan. Oh, I want to do this, or yeah, you envision yourself or your life going in a certain direction, so that's already setting a course, so that's an intention. And those as well can be deviated and can be turned into something that is like, wow, but that's not how I envisioned or how I expect my life to turn out. Like I said, these spaces are not claimed. Therefore, the distortion can do whatever it wants. Then there's another thing that I told you a while ago, a few years back, I believe. I said something about coherence and actually congruence, and because ultimately what we want is to have coherence. But back to that thing that I said years ago, when I emphasized the importance of like having your thoughts, words, and action congruent, is the only way to actually bypass, well, besides cleaning, but that involves that. In order to actually have access to truth, to higher truth, to universal truth, to direct communication with source, that it's uninfiltrated, undistorted, is by you creating inside yourself this internal direction that, like I said, you cannot lie about that. You cannot fake that. So that's thought matches your words, and then the words matches your action. So usually people, well, in this world, because it looks like, well, it is what it is, because there's not a lot of that. There's not a lot of congruence in people in general, in our interactions. Our interactions are based on fear. So there's not a lot of like honesty or congruence in the end, because that's what we want in the end. It's like we want to be congruent. So this creates a lot of noise and dissonance, and it's very easy for the distortion to just add more like to the, well, already big chaos that it's been here and still is. And it's very easy to influence people and, well, people inside, because everything is inside of oneself. When those things don't match, they don't mean the same thing. The thought, the word, the action, you lose. You are trapped here. You continue to actually expand that distortion inside yourself, and implicitly you spread it into this reality and into the grid. So that's why a lot of these things, it feels like, oh, that's the status quo, things are the way they are. It's because of that. Another tool that can help clearing the path is actually praying. So what actually praying means, if you don't like the word praying, if you are allergic to that, use it as planning. When you pray, when you do it correctly, it's actually setting an intention. You set the course for yourself, whatever it's about, something that you need it immediately or in general to change things. But when you do that every single day, you create again this like path ahead for you that, when done repeatedly, creates again this connection to source. And it's strengthened by your everyday repetition. And the same with, like I said, thought, words, action have to match, and they have to mean the same thing. That's another way to strengthen that internal direction in this path to actual, like, higher awareness, source in the end. So that information from higher space, from source, from higher self, from whatever other higher planes can come through, like come down here and bypass the distortion. That's a lot of work to do that. And a lot of people are just not willing to do that. Like I said, it's very easy to say, oh, I'm meditating, I'm doing that, but then again, you know what? My thoughts don't match my words, and my words don't match my actions. So again, that creates a lot of dissonance, and therefore there's no coherence. So all of this creates all this noise, and it's very easy to always manipulate the thoughts, the intention, the expectations, the dreams of someone, and you give them a lot of chaos and a lot of things that it shouldn't be there. And a lot of this stuff is done by fear. The energetic environment, like I said, has allowed for fear to exist here. So this is a way to lock somebody out and just put the mind outside, and to actually make them think that what's on the outside, that's what has power, not you. So when your focus and the power is on the outside, you don't have any power. So you have to find a way to go inside, because the reality that's on the outside, as many of you on this path already know, is something that we create inside. We have control. We can have control over that reality. It's a lot of work to get there, like I said, to have that you can have any real impact on how that reality changes, and not just, oh, a little, oh, I got out of the situation and okay, I'm a little bit safer now, but you don't know in 5 years or whatever. The cleaning process is that thing that clears the path. And the cleaning process involves that thing that I just said, is just constantly maintaining this like cleanliness inside and understanding that when your thoughts match your words and your words match your action, they create that beam, that just strong laser beam that connects you with source. And when you do that thing, and also when you clean, when you go into yourself and you find those things that can be cleaned, they just reinforce that internal direction, that thing that's inside you that nobody and nothing can destroy once it's formed. Once you crystallize that inside at this level, that will push you out of this reality. It's a long and tedious process, which, like I always say, is just most people just don't have the patience or aren't willing to go that deep, because you say, oh, the immediacy of my life says, oh, I have to do this and this, and it's true, but again, that's also based on fear. So it's just like, what do you allow yourself in this world to be, or for you to be true? So it's a big fight inside yourself to what you allow as to be true. So there's moments where you doubt that whatever the direction you're going in life is one that it's scary and it won't bring you stability. And we all know that in this world, stability means money. And like basically the right to exist. We all know that. But sometimes, sometimes you just have to not pay attention to that and just like, okay, whatever, it's like, that's not going to work out. I don't know how I'm going to be okay by pursuing this or going in this direction. But if you constantly work on building that internal direction, which, like I said, is formed by this congruency, this matching the thought, word, action, and cleaning inside yourself, everything that you are able to identify, that will reach into the unconscious space, will reach into the dream space, will reach into the expectation space. And every time you clean a bit more of those spaces are claimed by you, and it's like you're putting your awareness together. And the more you clean, like I said, you will uncover things that until, like I said a moment ago, I feel like, but that's not what I thought life is, or that I didn't see that things, it is like that, or it's like, wow, it will shock you. The more deeper you go into this, like really go deep into this, it will shock you to see how actually different is everything. It's so different, and that you actually have real power. And it won't be handed to you. It's like nobody is going to hand it to you. Hey, have like higher awareness, and this, you have to build this yourself, this connection, rebuild that to source, so you climb yourself out of this limited and distorted reality. So yeah, this is another thing that you should pay attention when you're on this path, when you clean. It's like, why am I doing all this work? Why am I cleaning for? It's like, because of this, because you need to claim, and then you'll discover this other thing that you need to claim. But if you're aware that, oh, so there's this space and that space and this space, like the unconscious, the dream space, the expectation, it's like, oh, okay, so what I'm actually doing, it helps me to claim that part of myself and this and that. And then the moment you, like I said, you start to feel stronger. It's like in the beginning, it might feel like it's imperceptible. It's like very subtle changes inside yourself, but then you feel, oh wait, it's different. I didn't know that I had this in me. But even to get to that point where that you feel that takes a lot of work, and it's just like I said, most people give up before they even get to that point where they realize, wait a second, that wasn't there. I wasn't even aware that that's like that. So that's why I always insist, that's why I annoy you with this constant like repetition, clean some more, to do that, persist, insist, have patience, is because of that. Yes, in time, as energy, it's like the energy that's already rewriting everything that is coming through from source and, well, other sources, will make this journey easier for the younger generation. But still, don't, like I said, don't expect to be saved. And especially for the generation before like from the older previous millennium. There's a lot of things that you have to basically dismantle inside yourself so you can launch yourself into higher realities. And that's a lot of work, and it can be, like I said, discouraging at times. But know that actually there is real magic and real power and wonderful things ahead if you do those things. I hope this was interesting and helpful. See you next time. Ciao. For yourself, you have the same power, so that the power of intention is huge.